All right, good evening, Old School Texas Tech. We're going to talk for a few minutes about the game Saturday in Stillwater, Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. This is a place where to put it lightly, we have struggled over the last 25 years. I remember when I first got to Tech, Oklahoma State was considered more of an easy win. Then they ended up with Les Miles for a couple of years. They became more difficult, and then they've had this great run with Gundy. I think it's 18 years straight of actually going to bowls, and we have been definitely damaged by that in recruiting and losses. And it really changed everything. When Leach was still here, we would always win against Oklahoma State at home. I don't remember a loss to Oklahoma State at home under Leach. I may be wrong, but I don't. I don't think we won at Stillwater under Leach. I think Spike Dykes was the last one to do that before Kingsbury did it before I moved to South America. So it's been a rough ride up there for sure.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it. I know we did not fare well in Stillwater, where we haven't
Even under Leach.
even under Leach. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember some times where we were like, I don't know, 7, 8 wins, and they were like 4 wins, and they would still beat us.
Yeah, we've had a really tough go. I watched this week because actually am a fan of Gundy. I watched both the Gundy press conference, his press conference after he had started preparing for Tech, and I watched video. Also, Tech does it a little bit different than Oklahoma State, where uh, Coach McGuire does part of the press conference, and then he allows both coordinators to talk. Gundy just does the whole press conference. I couldn't tell from his body language. A lot of people think he's about to walk and retire after this year. I couldn't really tell, and he was talking about some personnel and stuff for next year, which you never know exactly what that means. But the biggest thing that I could tell was body language, both with our coordinators and especially with Coach McGuire. We seemed energetic. We seemed like, um, we he did none of the coaches, no matter what anybody thinks about them, which I'm not saying all those negative opinions about some of our coaches are invalid, but I didn't get the feeling that they had lost the team. Kind of got the feeling that Gundy has lost a lot of this team. They're also going, it's senior day for them. And they've got a lot of guys leaving. We're both beat up. We had a bye week, both teams had a bye week, which will help us. But I just from his body language, which I think is going to transfer over to the team. They're also already talking about staff changes. They're talking about things like playing younger players. We're still playing for our bowl positioning, that kind of thing. I think it's going to be a relatively tough game. The big stat that jumps out to me is that they give up 250 yards on the ground, and they have a great running back who's only averaging, I think, about 3.7 yards per carry, which will probably give up more than that. Unfortunately, I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. But I think it's going to be a high scoring game. The over under is 65 and a half. Tech's favored by 3.5. ESPN Analytics has it almost 50-50 with Oklahoma State with a slight advantage. So those are kind of the three things I look at. So I've got Tech winning this game 38-28. I think that Joey McGuire's record in November, the only three teams he's lost to, likely if Colorado makes the Big 12 title game, have been teams who've made it to the Big 12 title game. Those are the only three teams he's lost to in November. So I think Tech wins it. I think it's a pretty good game throughout most of the game. I think Tech will pull away at the end, and I go 38-28 Tech.
So it's funny. I did not look. I don't look at the over under or the spreads on these before. It's all just part of the fun, I guess you could say. And the score that I had in mind was Texas Tech 35, Oklahoma State 31, which I think pretty much nails the over under.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to be close all game. Alan Bowman's not the quarterback anymore, is he? I don't think he is.
Actually, he's got. They named him. I believe they named him the starter this week. I believe I heard that in the press conference.
Oh boy, so we get to have somebody else that's got a chip on their shoulder coming to play his old team.
I mean, he's been playing call. I mean, I know you're. I'm not the Alan Bowman trash talker, but I don't know. I mean, he's played at a one of the biggest programs in the country. I don't know. Does he really
But
have that much?
my only joke has been I swear he's been in college for 10 years now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, a guy in Utah. I think I heard he's applying for a medical red shirt too, right?
You need to kick these kids out, man. This whole 8 years with the COVID stuff is ridiculous.
We're pretty much. This is pretty much the end of it. I think, from what I've heard.
So I I don't know. I think I'm just looking at the previous quarterbacks. You know, you had the kid at Maverick McIver lit us up in that game in Lubbock, and he used to be on the team. And then you look at, the kid from Baylor that Tech passed up on from Lubbock, and he lit us up. So I guess
Right.
time Bowman may as well throw for 380 against us.
They're gonna get some. They're gonna get some. They're gonna get some yards against us,
Sure.
especially passing.
That's why 31 points. I think it's 35-31. I think we'll end the streak there. But it wouldn't surprise me if Bowman comes out and throws like 5 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, if I would have watched that press conference, I also watched his post game press conference from, I believe, didn't they play Baylor last in Waco? Was that their last? Or
One,
was
I
it
think
is either or was it
it,
TCU? It
it
was
might be, I
TCU.
don't know. I thought it was
I
Baylor.
think it was TCU. And he just looks beaten down, you know. If I would have seen a press conference where, I saw, yeah, because I always have believed that football is very much a coach's sport. I think baseball is a general manager sport, especially at the professional level. Basketball to me is more of a player. It's more of a player sport. Football to me is a coaching is really at a premium, and he's been one of the best for a long time. I just think he is completely devastated at this season. I think that he blames himself for a fair amount of it, and I know there's been some controversy up there with some things that he said. I think that he's, for the most part, in recent years, has had pretty good. He's had a pretty good relationship with the administration. He just seems like a deflated coach, and I think that will translate over to the team. And when it gets tough in the fourth quarter, who wants it more? They're not going to a bowl game. And most of them are leaving, or not most of them, but many of their best players that have been there, staples of their team for a long time, are leaving. We've still got a lot of young players, and we still have senior day coming up in Lubbock the next week. So I just think eventually that Taj Brooks running game will take over. I still think he's due for one really big game. I think he has a better chance of that against Oklahoma State than West Virginia, from what I can tell. Like, they give up 258 yards a game on the ground.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, and they haven't. And I don't believe our offensive line is fantastic by any means, but they haven't faced many running backs as good as Taj Brooks either.
Hope you're right, dude. I could see this being Gundy's last year. In fact, it kind of feels like it could very well be. He may just say, "Screw it, I'm done."
It's possible.
He's not really doing. I mean, I guess he hasn't done the portal, but they're not really big on NIL right now, are they? And I don't think he likes the direction of things. I could see him bowing out.
Yeah, I could too. And what's interesting is we've always seen that because he's been Oklahoma State football for a generation. You know, this might be a subject for another video, but how good a job is that with him not there?
Exactly. That's a great point. Or he could look at it and go, you know what? This is a bad year. I'm not going to go out on such a low note. I'm going to stick around a few more. Who knows? We'll find out.
And he has, and I'm not a, I am a Gundy fan. I'm obviously Oklahoma State's a rival, so I don't necessarily always root for them, but I think he has every right to make the decision of what he wants to do. I mean, this is a guy that there should be no firing or anything like that. I mean, he has every right to make the decision. He's done a lot for that program because as you and I remember when they were not anything like the Oklahoma State that we've known the last 10, 15 years.
Wasn't there a time where we lost, I don't know, like 10 in a row to them or something, or 12 in a row?
Yeah, they had a really long streak. I think they may have had one of the longer streaks against us during the time after Leach and McGuire hasn't beaten them yet either. We didn't play him last year either.
That's right. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want some beat downs at the hands of them. Even I remember when Tuberville was there. One of those years they beat us like 60-3 or something like that. You remember that?
I think Kingsbury got him up there once late, or I
He
think maybe
did.
his last year.
He
And
did.
then I
We blew
think
him out.
yeah, and then I did he blow him out? Yeah, maybe he did.
Blew him
After
out
we did the video
one of
last week,
those years. I think that was our first win in like 12 years, and the first in Stillwater in like 20 years.
yeah, it was a long time. And then I want to say that Wells got a win at home against them, but I have to look that up. I think it was early in the year, and
Wasn't
I
it the
think
COVID season?
it might have been. I think he got a
Oh,
win
oh,
against Oklahoma State at home.
oh,
One of his bigger wins. So yeah,
cool.
we've had a rough go against them.
Just win, baby. Sitting at seven. I'm going to be in a much better mood next week with us sitting at 7-4 versus 6-5.
Yeah, I'll be in even a better mood if
I'll be
we can.
captain obvious. I know.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Enjoyed it. Don't forget to please subscribe, like, comment on the YouTube. We don't mind the comments on the other platform, but it really helps us out if the algorithms and everything. If you post something, a comment on YouTube, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Anything else you want to add?
No, 7-4. Here we come.
All right. Well, we both work today. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys Saturday on the thread.
See
Okay.
ya.
Take care.